Welcome back to the Cain Stevens Super Show. I'm your super host once again, Cain Stevens, and I have got three amazing guests. I'm a huge fan of these guys. I'm going to do a little build up here. They were the 2022, I believe, Band of the Year by Journal Star standards in Lincoln, Nebraska, but I think they're bigger than that. So they're blowing up everybody. You catch them everywhere, but I have none other than the Wildwoods. So I'm going to give you guys a little. I'll add clap noise later. You know, I give you a standing O, but we're all sitting, right? So that'd be a little.
Oh yeah.
So how are you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having us, Kane. I'm glad that we could finally make this happen.
Of course, you guys have been a busy band. You guys have been traveling the United States. Doing the thing. And let me just start by saying, I was talking to you guys before. I truly am a fan. I know a lot of people who might interview you, they'll say they're a fan, but they're not really. I mean, I'm not saying they're not, but I'm saying like they just say it. But I'm telling you, I listen to your music. Like I have you guys as songs on my playlist. Like you guys are in the wheelhouse of like the bands that I dig.
Oh man, thank you,
Thank
Kane.
you.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what that means having a weird guy like me liking your music, but it can't hurt, right?
Oh, it's great.
It means a lot.
Yeah. So have you did you guys play last night? When was your last show that you guys had?
So our last show that we did was on Saturday.
Okay.
That was in La Crosse, Wisconsin,
Nice.
which is like 6.5 hours away from Lincoln. It was kind of the last show of that leg of the tour, and so we came home Sunday evening.
Okay.
So we're kind of just resettling back into.
I know, aren't you guys pretty burned out from the road? I mean, it's pretty tough.
Slightly.
It's hard. It's kind of nice sometimes, like, because I feel like we have a routine when we're gone for so long, like every day on the road. And then when we come home, it's kind of hard to like go back into our home routine. So
Right.
I think it's nice being gone, but it's also, I don't know, it's kind of draining sometimes because we don't really take a lot of days off. So yesterday we all said we were going to take a day off and not look at any Wildwoods stuff for the day. So
Well, you guys are really making Lincoln proud, I feel, because I mean, you guys are doing it. I mean, you guys are grinding it out. You're doing it every day. You guys are all very talented musicians. But let's talk a little bit more about each one of you. Okay, so there's Noah, there's Chloe. Is it Chloe, correct? And you guys
Yes,
are
Chloe.
married. And what is your last name? Goose? Is it pronounced that way?
Ghosts.
Ghost. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I wanted to make sure, so I didn't say Goose a bunch of times. You're like, oh, not another one, right?
that's all right. That's Noah's nickname.
That's been my nickname for a very long time.
It's a cool name, really. I mean, wasn't it a Top Gun too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goose and so it can't be all bad, right?
No,
It doesn't
I
have
And then
to.
we have Andrew, right? You're Andrew, and you play bass. Now I'll attempt your last name, and then you're really gonna get disgusted with me. Is it Vigalis?
Hey, that's a lot better than the normal.
Yeah.
Battles. At least is how we
Oh.
pronounce it. I don't know. What it was before.
It sounds kind of like a Game of Thrones-esque
Yeah.
last name, man. So I had to at least give it a shot, but I want people to know who they're talking to here, especially if they see the interview. So I mean, tell me the dynamic of the band with you guys. So you Andrew are with a married couple who plays, and how's the day-to-day going for you guys as a band? Like, are you guys feeling pretty good about it? You all seem like pretty positive people.
Yeah. It's pretty. It really is pretty easy, and I might have a unique perspective on it in the sense of over the last decade, I guess you guys have been playing through like different iterations where it's been like a 6-piece or a 7-piece, or they would play as a duo. And then last August when I came in and they wanted to kind of make it a trio, it was kind of cool to see the well-oiled machine that was already kind of going as far as not only musically but
Right.
wise as well. And so it's chaotic, and and they might not say that it's organized. It's as organized as it can be, I guess, with this.
Yeah. It's organized enough, right, to make it work.
Yeah. But even despite all the busyness and responsibility, I feel like there's just like, still plenty of like laughter, and nobody's like really, we're not like Crosby, Stills and Nash. We're like at each other's throats.
Yeah.
You
You guys
Or
are
they're-
taking separate tour buses, you're not all
Yeah,
at each other's
exactly.
throats like the Eagles were or something. Like,
yeah, the Eagles. Yeah, exactly.
not
No,
yet, right? Someday you'll all have your big tour buses and you'll all bicker on walkie-talkies at each other or something. But for now, you're together, right?
Oh yeah, I
So
feel like
how do
that's-
you travel? Do you guys travel in a van together? What do you guys generally do?
we kind of have been going back and forth between we have a 1992 Damon Hornet, which is like this
camper.
this old Class C RV with the beds kind of above the driving area.
Yeah, right.
And so for most of our longer spells, we kind of take that thing, and then when we have shorter tours, we have like a Ford SUV that we'll take. But this last tour was only a week and a half, but we ended up taking that SUV just because we had some really long drives. The first show of the tour was in Greensboro, North Carolina, which we made the mistake of leaving a bit late the day before, and so we stopped at a hotel for like 2 hours. We booked it the day in advance, but I think we just expected to get there a little early. So just because we had 20-hour drive to get to the first show, then we had an 8-hour show the next day, then a 6-hour drive the next day. So when we have long drives kind of like that, or depending on the terrain, like we were in Colorado and Arizona, New Mexico a few weeks before that, we also took that. But for a lot of our long eastern tours that we do up in the anywhere east of Nebraska, we're typically staying and living out of the RV, which is typically an easier way to tour because with hotels we're a bit nervous about leaving all of our equipment in our vehicle.
I don't blame you. Yeah, for sure.
And so we'll load, after the show, we'll load all the stuff into our car, and we I know we're a trio, but unfortunately we have a lot of gear that we travel with, so it takes a bit of time. And we load it into the car, then we load it into the hotel, then back into the car. But when we have the RV, typically we can just load it into there after the gig, and then we just sleep in there. Whether we sleep outside of a venue if they have a hookup for an RV, or a lot of times we'll find a Love's truck stop or a Cracker Barrel, which can get kind of dangerous because then we'll end up eating at the Cracker Barrel the next day. But
Exactly. It isn't all bad. I was going to ask you about food. What do you guys eat on the road? I mean, is it, when I used to work on the road a lot, I would eat ramen noodles like endlessly. Like I would just buy to maximize my money. I would buy an ungodly amount of ramen noodles, and I would get like all sorts of sauces to pour in it. But what do you guys do? What do you guys generally eat? What's the best place that you guys have eaten in all your travels?
best place.
Well, I think like overall, we usually sorry, our dog.
That's the fourth member, right?
Yeah. This is my favorite. We usually try to have the venue provide us with meals at least dinner time, because it's always difficult. We're getting there for our load in and sound check like hours before we actually play, and then by the time the show is done, there's really nothing open to eat except for like Applebee's, which we have been eating at a lot of Applebee's, or lately, like honestly, a lot of drive-throughs, which is not good. And that's only when we're taking like our SUV. But like when we take our camper, we have a little kitchen in there, so it's easy to make things or cook meals. Just have like cold things that are fast and easy snacks like in the fridge. But yeah, like because our gigs get done so late, there's really not a lot open now, especially since COVID. I feel like everything closes a lot earlier than it used to.
Well, truck stops can be rough too. I can remember eating potato salad at a truck stop or something, and I got sick afterwards. So I would advise not eating gas station potato salad at 2 a.m. if you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
Made the mistake.
Never do it, man. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, what's the best place you guys have eaten at? You guys have done some pretty good travels. You've had to eat in some good places, haven't you?
And we played in was that Wakeman, Ohio?
Oh,
with Terry and Deborah?
I would agree that was.
They made us this this stew, and this whole spread. It
Yeah.
was bread and cheese, like chips and salsa, so chicken and vegetable stew with rice.
That sounds great. Yeah.
It's called River Dog,
Yeah.
which is this couple that owns this piece of land that they do
Barn concerts.
concerts, and they they're artists, so they have buildings kind of meant for art creation and art displays and whatnot. And yeah, she just made us this incredible meal, and it was incredible, but also we hadn't had like a home cooked meal of that quality for
A
a
long
few
time.
weeks before
Yeah.
then, at least, or maybe a month, I don't know. So it was
It tastes better when it's like that, doesn't it? Like it's kind of like if you're out there and you're like camping and starving and eating hot dogs for 3 weeks straight, and then you eat like a real meal. It's like you can taste everything different. So I can only imagine. I mean, I'm salivating thinking about it. I'm hungry now.
Yeah.
I was in tears.
oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's awesome. So let's talk a little bit more about your work. I mean, you guys, to me, for one, the harmonies are impeccable. I mean, I truly, as a music fan, for me and as a singer, I've always wanted to have what you guys have. I always wanted to have a female in the band who can harmonize and just somebody else. But you guys have this Beatles thing going on, like, and how did you learn to do, I mean, is it just natural to you? How did you learn to harmonize so well?
Well, it's kind of
Well, we don't
The-
think that we do. I
no,
feel like.
it's kind of the entire basis of all of our practice sessions, I guess, are
Yeah.
are working, whether we have a new tune and we're working through the arrangement of coming up with harmonies, or a big thing that we try to work on is blending, which is probably the trickiest thing that we work on, just because we you listen to groups all the time that have just this impeccable blend that they all just kind of sound like, whether it's two people, three people, four people, whatever, they all just kind of sound like one voice together. And that's something we really try to strive for. And
I think it's because too a lot of all of our original music, the focal points and like what we focus on more than lyrics, I guess, more than the lyric content, is the melody and how the vocals play into all of that, and the
Absolutely.
textures that we can create with the three of our voices.
yeah,
And
so that's a big part of the songwriting, is try to incorporate harmonies that although we do use this, trying to veer away from the typical stack of thirds, try to incorporate chords that kind of extend beyond typical triads.
So we were talking about harmonies, and you guys say that you don't sound, but you guys do have a great blend. Like as a singer, when I've sang with other people, I find that other singers tend to want to oversing, or like they'll try to make runs that don't make sense. And I do that too, like, or like they don't follow where I'm going, like I've always been a front man. And so it's like I always thought they should follow me, but then again, a good singer learns to blend with everybody else too.
Yeah, and
Maybe they just didn't understand my voice. I don't know. But you guys have it down to a science.
that's
Well, thank you.
like a funny thing that you bring that up, because I feel like the main thing to like think about when blending is to pick one person and follow kind of their lead. And our friends Casey and Logan, they are really great vocalists and great music teachers. We've actually had them help us with blending before and kind of teach us like what are different tricks or like choral tricks to kind of listen to each other.
Yeah.
And they said to pick like one person out of the three of us to be the lead trumpet, so to speak, and then each other person will sing as if we're trying to like emulate how that person is singing.
Yeah, because
Right.
you talked about kind of people that will sometimes oversing, and I think for all three of us, I don't think any of us would consider ourselves to be the lead singer, right?
Like even a vocalist first.
Right. So I think a lot of times we're kind of under singing,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
have to kind of you know, because it's pretty rare when one of us will be like, "Oh, you're too loud." You know,
Yeah.
you need to sing quieter. Typically, it's you need to sing louder.
Right.
Because
But maybe
I
that's
think
it too. We kind of like view ourselves more as instrumentalists. Like that,
Yeah.
like I wouldn't go up to someone and say, I'm a singer. Like I would say I'm a violinist. Which is not, I mean, that's probably not a good way to think. It's probably better to
I
think.
don't know. I mean, I consider myself a guitar player. I always just wanted to hide behind the guitar all those years that I played in bands. I mean, a bassist, I can definitely, I always wanted to be you, man. I tell people this all the time. I always wanted to have a beer in one hand and a bass in the other. And maybe, you know what I mean? Like really woo the crowd, like play the bass with my beer or something, you know, but what I'm saying is it's just like, just be the guy, you know, back, but you're in this band, you're up front with them. It's like when I watch you guys have some viral videos and we'll kind of get into that. Um, you guys have kind of blown up. I have noticed on you know, the covers that you do and how you, and man, that is just such a brilliant way to showcase yourself, because why not, right? Why not showcase how good you can do this cover and try to do it some justice and get people behind you and then blow them away with your music? And that's what I feel you've done. And I mean, I don't mean to you know, praise is good, guys. So, you know, you guys seem all like pretty humble people, and but I'm telling you, man, it's you know, you guys are just, I feel so happy about doing this interview because like I mean, you know, we haven't been able to have it work out a few times. You guys have been on the road. So I'm so happy that you decided to do this because I'm trying to showcase local talent a little more, and you guys are it. And so you know, with the, I'm looking at your views. I think there was some videos. The last thing I checked was like you were at like a 804.9 thousand views on one of your videos, and I'm sure it's rising. I mean, that's pretty darn good, man. I mean, I'm lucky to get 200 views or more on a lot of the stuff that I do, and I do a lot of posting. I mean, what do you guys think about how that's going, and what's been your success for musicians coming up?
Man, Ken, well, I feel like we kind of last summer kind of discussed this recipe that we
Mhm.
want to try to boost our followings on social media and
Yeah.
in real life, people coming to our shows. And I think that musicians are artists, and I think it can be hard to kind of get out of the purist mindset of only wanting to post original music, only wanting to perform original music, kind of just only wanting to showcase, what has come from yourself, But we were messing around with all these different covers, trying to work through, like we were kind of talking about earlier, work through, you know, three-part harmony for songs that might have something unique in them that's not in the original, and trying to kind of design the arrangement
Just like
around.
basically design the arrangement or do the cover how we would like perform an original song basically.
Right.
Like
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
and
necessarily say we had like a formula for how we wanted to do each video. That just kind of happened organically once we posted like the first few, and
Yeah.
then we were lucky and some of them did really well. And so we were like, okay, well, let's keep doing that because people seem to like the way we've been playing these songs, and even just like the aesthetic in the video. None of that was like purposeful in the beginning. We were just
Yeah.
like
I,
set up the camera and
Well,
our
you kind
weird
of made them your own, which is what a person should do with covers. I mean, anybody, well, I can't say anybody, okay? I can't play like Led Zeppelin or any of these, you know, these legends. I mean, nobody really can do what all these bands did, but we can sure try, right? And I think the best form of flattery is to imitate these bands, and you guys are doing that, but you're doing it in your own way. And so I mean, and that is just so important. And it's like the look, the aesthetic of what you're doing. You guys, you know, you've got the three of you standing there. You've kind of got the so to speak, like a folk Americana trio look going and all that. and it's just like, I mean, what you guys have done has been great, and you're getting the views. I think the first song that I can remember listening to of a cover of yours was the John Denver cover of
Oh,
Take Me Home, Country Road. I mean, that's just a killer song. People love that song, but the way you guys did it was just, it was like, you make it look easy, but it's not easy. You know what I mean? And that's what the truly good bands do, is they make it, you guys make it look easy. Like I could get two schlubs next to me and we could end up being like a barbershop quartet or something, but it just doesn't work like that. You
oh,
guys
you
put
can
in
do it.
work. Yeah, you're all great voices and you all blend together. So
Thank,
yeah.
and that's kind of you know, we kind of, like I said before, when we kind of talked about, you know, oh, this cover video did kind of decently, and at the time it was only maybe 200 likes or something on TikTok and whatnot. We
Right.
thought, let's post one or two a week and see how they do, and they kept consistently building up. And in my mind, I was like, oh no, I don't want people to come to our shows thinking that we're a cover band.
Right.
People have, but it has been a low number of people that came not expecting to hear any original music. But on the flip side of that, these videos have gotten a lot of people to come to our shows.
Well, I don't know
and
about
has-
that. I mean, I don't think I've met someone that's come to a show that's been like, I didn't know you had original songs.
There have been a couple people. There was a family in Alabama that came to our show at this art center that
Yeah.
thought we were all cover band.
But
Like I
on
said,
the flip
it's only
side,
been-
though, it's been really surprising to see people come to our shows that they are requesting our original music, which like
Right.
would happen every once in a blue moon before any of this happened. So like posting the covers that we do in the way that we would perform like any song that we play, I feel like it's really helped us on that side of things too, to get more people to listen to the music that we create.
That's what I meant. I think I might have
Yeah.
just relaying.
How did you guys, what was your beginning as a band? Like, were you guys all individual artists before you met your wife, before you met, I mean, how did you guys kind of come together?
Well, we were really young. We were 14 when
Mhm.
we
Yeah.
so
And
we did, like, I guess you could say we were individual artists because we both
Yeah.
played. And then we met Andy in high school. He went to the same high school as us. And we had, like Andy was saying before, different iterations. Just we started the band when we met when we were 14, and we had tons of different people playing with us just all throughout the years.
Right.
And really when we started it in middle school, it was just like a fun thing to do as a job to make money, like, and we just loved playing music, and we really didn't work any other jobs all throughout high school or college. We just tried to make what we could with our music.
Yeah.
But I
And you
don't
guys
know.
are all from here? You're from the Lincoln area, or where are you guys all currently based?
we all live in Lincoln still.
Okay, good.
Yeah, yep. But yeah,
And
then
you've lived here most of your life or your whole life?
entire lives. Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
nothing wrong with it. Lincoln's a great town. People,
Oh yeah.
trust me, when you get away from Lincoln, you're like, man, I'd love to live here. I'd love to live here. But I mean, Lincoln's still home. And it feels good when you get back. But I find myself, like, I went to Alabama this year and into Georgia with my family on a vacation, and I thought to myself instantly, I want to move to Georgia, or I want to move to Alabama, because it's such a cool area. Like, you guys are down there in North Carolina. You guys see some pretty beautiful countryside, I'm sure, where you're going, right? Like,
Definitely. Yeah.
have you guys passed through Atlanta quite a few times? What do you guys think of that traffic? It's pretty bad, huh?
Oh man. Yeah,
It
that
makes
is
me not wanna go back.
the
Yeah.
place I'm maybe the most nervous about driving, especially in the RV.
It is. The driving's worse than flying. TSA at that airport is the absolute worst.
Really?
But
Yeah.
oh man, it was like horrifying to go. And my sister is a Homeland Security person. She has been for years, and so she coaches us like on. I haven't flown very many times, but she coaches us like how it's going to be, and she warned us it's going to be pretty rough there, and it
Mhm.
was, man. There was just, I have a pacemaker, and I was horrified because it seemed like they weren't going to put me through the area where you're safe to do that. They were just going to shove me through. And I'm like, no, really, like you're going to shut down my device or mess with it if I go through this. So
Oh my gosh.
it was pretty nerve wracking, man. But
Yeah.
I got through. We got home, so that's all that matters.
Nice.
But
I think-
driving's the way to go if you can handle it. But man, it's tough sitting all that time, isn't it? You gotta. What do you guys do to keep yourselves from getting bored?
Well,
Well, you do all the driving,
Yeah,
so you're preoccupied.
you're preoccupied the whole time.
yeah. And
Andy and I are like mostly, sometimes we get burnt out from doing it constantly, but we're like working on booking or answering emails or
Yeah.
promoting shows, like. But also, I feel like it makes the time go by really fast. Like,
Yes.
if we're like sitting and promoting a show, it could be like a 4-hour drive, and it felt
Right.
like an hour long because we're just so into like.
Well,
doing
when you
it.
start doing that, time does go by fast, like building promos, doing posters. If you're doing all of that stuff, and I was always that way for all the bands. I was always the leading force because it was like nobody else wanted to take the reins. And I've always been like, if someone, I never wait for anybody. I mean, maybe you guys are that way too, but like, you guys have a good band setup going. But for those of us who've been in like many iterations of bands, it's hard to get people to do what they say they're going to do, to show up to practice, to come to the gigs, to behave themselves.
Yeah, I think finding the right personalities to work with.
Yeah.
And just like honestly, like when Andy joined us full time in August, like he didn't really know like all the stuff that we were doing behind the scenes,
Mhm.
but he was very willing to come in and be like, teach me, like I want to know how to do this and help. So I feel like that's really important. And on the flip side, like with all of this like businessy stuff that goes along with making something like this successful, which is really important, I
Right.
feel like sometimes it can be easy to start to take things a little too seriously sometimes and start to lose sight of why we're doing this in the
Yeah.
first place. Like, so it's good to have like a balance of, I feel like Noah and Andy even me out, like where I'm like stressed out all the time about like, oh my gosh, we got to get this show booked, we got to do this, we got to do this, and then they're like, chill out, you don't have to take this, like it's music.
Yeah, you gotta sit back and have fun sometimes too. You know, you gotta remember why it's fun. I mean, you guys are doing something that it's just like you. I listen to a lot of comedians talk, and they say, and this goes for musicians too, it takes a certain person to get up in front of people and do what you guys are doing, do this. And so you got to remember why it's fun, right? So every time you pick up those darn instruments, you love every sound, I'm sure, just like me. I could sit in front of a guitar and literally just play the same 5 or 6 string notes over and over, and it's so pleasing to me that you know what I mean? Like, of course, then you get bored with those notes and you start noodling around and doing everything, but you just can't lose sight of what it's fun, why it's fun.
Totally. And it's we just kind of have to remind ourselves, that we're artists. We're not, we're not marketers.
Yeah,
We're-
exactly.
We have to kind of stay, with our feet planted.
Were
down
you
to
trying to,
earth.
do you want to get bigger where you have a team of people behind you? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
that's kind of the goal, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if I could have a producer and all this stuff do all that, I would take it in a heartbeat. So
Yeah.
don't feel bad if you want that. You guys will get there. I really do feel that way.
Well, thank you,
I
Cain.
feel like we're like pushing through the hard moments
Yeah.
right now
We're
to hopefully get there.
because we're booking all of our tours on our own, and doing all the marketing and management type stuff on our own,
You keep getting those streams and you keep getting those views, and I mean that seems to be the key to what they're really looking at for now. Like me,
Yeah.
I feel like my time is kind of past, so to speak, and I'm okay with that. I put out the music because I love it. I have I have heart failure. I have I'm not dying, but everyone's dying, and I hate to be so grim, but you get what I'm saying. But I feel like the key to the success of all of that is like you really have to put in the work. I can't tour anymore, or play, or any of that. So I do everything like online or at home. I do all my recording at home. I do all my producing. I do all my editing, everything. What do you guys do in terms of recording right now? Are you guys in charge of all that, or do you go to a studio to finish? Oh, how do you do that?
So for our last album that we did, which was Foxwood St. John, which we released in February, we recorded it at this place called Hand Branch Studio, which is in Omaha, Nebraska, with an engineer named Ben Broden, and he was the house engineer for Studio B inside of ARC Studios in Omaha. But he a few years back,
It was
I
when
think
COVID started.
when COVID started, he kind of opened up a studio in his basement, but he really designed his basement in a way where it lent itself to be used for a professional recording studio. So we recorded a couple songs there. Then we thought, wow, it sounds just as good as ARC and brilliant. We really love working with Ben, and I really love recording in a house just because it feels
It's a homey vibe. It gives you good feelings. Yeah.
Right. So we ended up doing the whole album there in kind of multiple different sessions.
It took like almost a year because
yeah,
we would like do 2 days in the studio and then try to save up money to go back the next time.
yeah.
When we started, we didn't even know that we were going to have an album at the end, but the longer we were recording, we just had more and more songs to bring. Yeah. And we had been working with Ben, I can't remember, since 2017. Was that the first year?
Yeah.
So he kind of he's been recording and helping us produce since then, kind of seeing our music grow up as we grow up too. So it's just a very comfortable soul to be around and help us, I don't know, put out what we work so hard for every day.
But our last few singles that we've done, we've recorded them just in this is our studio room that we're currently sitting in. Just recorded all those things in here, as well as we do most of our cover videos in this room.
Yeah.
Other than
it looks familiar. It looks like I've seen some of this before. You also record in a church, right? You guys have done some covers in a church as well.
We have, yeah. It's been a little while. I think we did that John Denver one you were talking about.
Yeah, it was cool, man. I can remember you guys spinning yarns about using like a really fancy mic of some sort, and I can't remember what it was. What mic was that?
The ADA.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the one in the church?
Yeah, or no, I'm just talking about, I thought maybe you used it in the church too, maybe you didn't, but there was a really nice, like, what was it, a ribbon mic, like an older type mic? Yeah, what was that mic?
We've done like recordings in several churches, I guess, like Noah's mom teaches at North American Martyrs School, and so we have...
I think you might be talking about this.
Yeah,
Nice.
So we have the option to like go and record stuff in that church, which we have a few times. Yeah. Never with that mic though, I don't think yet.
No, but this is
not a cheap mic. I mean, I looked it up when you that's not your run of the mill Shure 58 or something.
Right. Now this is a AEA R84A, which AEA gifted it to us, and so we which it sounds just incredible. And
that one we did it at First Plymouth.
Yes, that one was at First Plymouth Church here.
I'm sorry, it's kind of choppy to me. I remember like all the clips I watched and everything, but my my memory is like, or my mind is like a crazy spinning wheel. So it's amazing that I can reel myself in long enough to remember anything. Hey there, fellow follicle enthusiasts. We have a sponsor that's about to make your beards go wild with delight. Brace yourselves for the one and only, the elegant Sasquatch. Are you ready to unleash your outer beast?
Cain, I've been waiting for this moment my entire bearded life. But tell me, how can the elegant Sasquatch help us awaken our inner beasts?
Oh, my hairy companion, the elegant Sasquatch has a treasure trove of beard products that will have your whiskers partying like it's the wildest night in the forest. From their aromatic beard oils to their beastly balms and buttery concoctions, they've got everything you need to make your beard sing with joy.
I can almost hear my beard belting out its own rendition of I Will Survive.
Your beard is in for a treat, my friend, and here's the best part. Every single product is handmade with love. Picture this, a team of Sasquatch artisans rocking their aprons and wielding their grooming tools, crafting beard goodies that will blow your mind. It's like a hairy fiesta of craftsmanship.
I could see those Sasquatch artists dancing with their combs and trimmers like they're on a hairy stage.
Absolutely. These bearded maestros pour their heart and soul into every bottle of beard oil, every tin of balm, and every tub of butter. They're like the Michelin-starred chefs of the beard world, creating culinary delights for your facial hair.
My beard is salivating in anticipation.
Well, get ready for your beard to do a happy dance because the Elegant Sasquatch has you covered from all angles. Their beard oils will make your whiskers as smooth as a buttery glide. Their balms will sculpt your beard into a masterpiece that would make Da Vinci jealous. Their butters will leave your beard softer than a cloud made of marshmallows, and their washes will cleanse your beard with a scent that's fresher than the waterfalls in the Rockies.
My beard is ready for the bearded revolution.
You can find the Elegant Sasquatch on Instagram and Facebook. They're ready to share their hairy wisdom, showcase their bearded customers, and entertain you with memes that will make your mustache curl with laughter.
I can't wait to join the hairy community and bask in the glory of their bearded memes.
So, folks, get ready to let your beards run wild. Unleash your outer beast and head over to Facebook and Instagram to find the Elegant Sasquatch. Trust me, your beard will thank you, and you'll be the envy of every bearded creature in the virtual forest.
Here's to smelling like a wild creature and embracing your inner Sasquatch.
Cheers to that, my fellow bearded brethren, and stay elegant with the Elegant Sasquatch. All right, so one thing we haven't talked about is you guys are all instrumentalists. You know, your instrument is your voice, but it's also, you're literally playing instruments. So I want to start with if I can call you Andy instead of Andrew, maybe that's too formal.
Oh no, that's perfect.
Andy, so what all instruments do you play? Do you just play the bass?
In this project, I just play the bass, but when I'm mulling about at home or whatever, we're teaching lessons, play piano and guitar.
Nice.
And drums as well.
Yeah.
And trying to get the fiddling down when I have time.
Yeah. So, but you mostly in bands have played the bass.
Yep, yeah, that's been my primary instrument.
And you play a stand-up, right?
Yes. I came up playing electric, and then last August I was trying to take up the upright, playing Noah and Chloe's upright bass.
Mm-hmm.
The bridge on it is kind of wacky as far as what pickups go well with it, and it's obviously tough to travel with. So while for videos, I've primarily done upright. For live shows, would normally do electric bass.
Yeah.
Just bought it's called a Chadwick upright bass, where the neck actually folds back into the body and it goes to the bass. And so literally just bought that 2 weeks ago from a guy named Greg Garrison, who he's a bass professor at the university in Colorado, and he used to play with like Chris Thiele and plays in a couple really cool bands. One called the Mighty Poplar. It's like a folk bluegrass super group. So it was really, Chloe's mom actually helped find this place in Colorado. This guy owned it. His name was Bob Ross. And we asked about, if he had any Chadwick basses. And not that Bob Ross.
I know, but it's hard not to smile when you hear it. Right?
Exactly. When you told us his name, we did the same thing. And he's like, yep, like the painter. Like he had a million names.
At least his name wasn't Michael Bolton, like the guy on Office Space, right?
Yeah.
But Chloe, what all do you play then? You do play you play the violin, right?
I do, yeah. I play the violin. I also play guitar. I dabbled in a little bit of mandolin, but I just still feel uncomfortable performing with it. I mean, except for like easy chords and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you play ukulele at all?
I can, yeah. I don't.
It's fun to tinker around with.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. But yeah, I would say violin's my main instrument.
Yeah. I'm really jealous that you guys have somebody who plays the violin, because that's like, as a country player and stuff, that's something I always wanted. Like my heroes were like so weird because I loved Merle Haggard. Like Merle Haggard's one of the people that I wanted to, when I first heard him, I wanted to play. Obviously Kurt Cobain was huge when I was a kid. So, even though Kurt Cobain really wasn't the one ripping all the the leads and stuff like that. I just wanted to play that, trashy, edgy guitar and everything. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what do you play in terms of instruments? You play quite a few, don't you, Noah?
Yeah, typically, or pretty for everything we do for Wildwoods, I typically stick on acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
I do dabble in the banjo a bit, and have been trying to work on some tunes to try to incorporate that into our sets, but
Yeah.
nothing down quite yet. But guitar is my main
You play the
instrument.
piano too.
A little bit of piano. But
Rip on the mandolin.
Yeah, and mandolin.
Don't cut yourself short here, man. We know you're hiding all these other instruments that you play.
Piano was
Well-
your first instrument, though. I don't know why you say that's
Well,
like you're very proficient in the piano.
I think just in terms of what I spend the
Yeah.
majority of the time doing, and the instrument that I use for songwriting, this is definitely the guitar. But when you learn, as you probably know, Ken, when you learn a fretted instrument, a lot of times other fretted instruments will translate.
Yeah, for sure.
Translate pretty easily as well. Although of course, learning banjo or mandolin is quite a learning curve, just because of the different note layouts on both of those instruments. But
For me, I feel like it's the right hand that I struggle with the most on instruments like that, like guitar, mandolin, banjo. I've never even tried, but
that's because you got the bow.
yeah, my left hand is pretty okay most of the time. It's my right hand I need to. I don't know. I feel like I have terrible hand-eye coordination every time I pick up an instrument like that.
I feel like that with every instrument I pick up. I get so people don't realize if they play instruments or I played it most of my life. Is that you get frustrated throughout like your whole journey. Like sometimes you get so mad at it you want to quit, or if you don't practice for a while, it all comes back to you like riding a bike, but your fingers don't necessarily follow along with what they should be doing. And so it could be like you just want to smash it against the tree or something at times, but we don't, right? Well, if you do, it's probably not going to play very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in seeing these incredible masters of the guitar or the mandolin. Really want to strive to be that, even though you might not have the
The chops.
the chops to do that, or kind of the natural musical ability to play like that. Like that's kind of what goes back to what you were saying about Kurt Cobain, how it's so important to have musical influences,
Right.
that you can look up to, that are not these savant type players, but in turn looking up to, I feel like the people that I look up to the most, and are most inspired by, are people that are not these musicians that can play wildly fast, but are more of I'm sorry, I keep saying that
I do it. It's like a hard thing to break. Trust me. I'm
right.
sure people have
Yeah.
heard. I could probably put together a tape that I say at least 400 million times. So
Same. I don't know why I resort to that, but
I probably am getting you to do it.
That's why I look up to people that are primarily songwriters, and
Right.
songwriters that have just really touched me. And
I feel like I'm drawn to also music that's just really easy to listen to, and it just like it makes you feel something rather than being like constantly impressed at what you're listening to, which is really cool as well. But
the thing that frustrates me is when I see like a video of somebody, like someone playing with their feet, or like a little kid, and they play better than me, and then I'm like, why don't I just quit?
like there's a guitarist that plays with his feet. He doesn't have arms.
Yeah, and it's like, man, that is some ingenuity. That's like loving the instrument, and they're making the best of their situation. And I don't mean to pick fun at it, but it's just like it's so frustrating with me with what I would consider to be good functioning arms, and everything else, and this guy's ripping it harder than I can on guitar.
Yeah.
Same. That's why social media is such a dangerous thing, especially with algorithms now, because now all of my social media platforms that I scroll through are all just these savant musicians.
Yeah.
Why can't I play like that? But I remember when I was a kid, I took piano lessons as a kid, and a couple times a year, my piano teacher would host a recital for all of her students. I remember seeing these kids that were just incredible pianists, and I would,
Right.
look at my piece of sheet music, be like, what the hell am I doing? This is everybody's going to think I'm a fool, which I think is part of the reason why I got into songwriting. Because I thought, if I write songs, nobody else will know this. Nobody else will play this, And so I think not being the best musician kind of worked to an advantage, I guess. I don't know.
One of the most important things I heard was when I was in college taking guitar lessons, I was in a jazz combo, and one of the songs I was supposed to take this solo, and I'd been like working on it really hard and get time to perform the solo, and I think it was pretty much just like all 16th notes the entire time, and just like note after note after note, and I was like, oh, I did it. And I get to my lesson the week afterwards, and my guitar teacher was like, let's talk about your that solo you took on All the Things You Are, and I'm like, yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I ripped it. Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, and he's a really great teacher, but he's very honest, and he's not just going to, give compliments out willy-nilly, which I loved about him. And he was like, I would probably take an eraser to probably 50% of the notes that you played to make it a good solo. And so he like had me like try again, and like, with 50% less notes, and then it just like sounded way better. You could like, sing it back.
Yeah.
And it didn't have to be like this like crazy, like Chloe said, like impressive sounding thing.
Well, I would hate to put my music up because I play my own leads and all that because I never have a lead player. And so I'd hate to put my leads up in front of that guy because he'd be like, I'd probably erase about probably 99% of what you did. So that, but hey,
Different music calls for different things.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've seen incredible, like, man, what is Stephen Cantaro's band, Mobius?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like metal jazz fusion.
Oh, yeah.
They are like just flying when they're playing.
Kicks ass.
But it's like it sounds so good. It's amazing that people can think that way.
Yeah. Well, we're all different minds, but we're all kind of the same mind as musicians. So it's fun for me to talk to other musicians because, especially I probably would never get the opportunity to talk to you guys in your regular life because I'm probably hiding out in a basement, or I've been chasing ghosts lately with instruments and stuff. So we're gonna get into the weird part of this show now, and I won't be too out there, but it'll be just enough out there where you might, so I'll try to keep, I'll keep it light, so to speak. But if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna ask you guys some questions. Just give me your thoughts, all right?
All right.
So my first question is this: is the Loch Ness Monster just a giant inflatable toy that people keep bringing out, or is it a dinosaur that isn't extinct? What do you think?
No, Nessie's down there.
Nessie's down there. I think so. What do you guys think?
We've never
I
been
think so.
we've never been to Loch Ness,
Yeah.
but
You got do you have the dream alive? Do you believe in it? Do you think cryptids are real?
cryptids. What's that?
Cryptids are basically like Bigfoot and all these creatures that we can't explain. Different places throughout the country, like Missouri's Bigfoot is Momo, and he's like a stinky kind of a black Bigfoot type.
Yeah. Some of our friends swear that they saw a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are driving through some of this Bigfoot country and whatnot. Have you guys seen anything weird? Maybe like a guy, an 8 foot tall. Yeah,
But
camping.
that's
We've
the thing
seen a
with
lot of like Bigfoot like paraphernalia or whatever. I don't know. That's not the right word.
that's
Propaganda.
Yeah.
Oh,
average-
propaganda. Okay.
I don't know.
Bigfoot propaganda. Well, that's the thing though, Cain, is Bigfoot that's how they've lasted so long out in the wild of the United States, is because they're so good at hiding.
Yeah.
They know what we're doing. They know what
They're the
goes
hide and
on.
seek champions, right? I mean, they're the ones.
They know what's going on in the human race, and
And they don't want it.
they don't want any part of it, right?
I've heard different people try to say that Bigfoot is like a dimensional being, and I know we're really getting out in the weeds here, but I think if that were the case, it could be true, right?
I saw a video recently, and maybe it was just very convincing, like Photoshop. But the video, it looked like this Bigfoot creature that they were viewing at from a distance. And it was a real like live video they were taping. It looked like it was just disappearing and then reappearing like randomly.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I
What
think
do you
that's
make of all this UFO stuff? They're calling them UAPs now, which I, I, they're actually talking in congressional meetings and whatnot, and they're bringing, even alien existence to the forefront. I mean, do you think it's a bunch of, as I say, I hope this isn't a bad term, but like Hong Kong Phooey? Do you think it's a bunch of like, what do you think it is?
Oh, I think it's
Andy,
look
Andy's
you
been
wanna
like
say
since
something.
they like announced it, he's been like obsessed about it.
Yeah, same. So you've been watching it then. You've seen
Yeah.
what I've seen.
Yeah, it's only been a matter of time. I feel like,
Right.
it's an endless universe. And so if they're out there. But
They
the
are out there.
is the concept that, if you have a civilization that's able to last, the thousands of years it takes to get the technology for interstellar travel,
Yeah.
then they're probably peaceful, because if they weren't peaceful, then they probably would have used that technology to, to crumble themselves like we're probably going to do.
Yeah.
For many years.
Well, then there's the wild theories of like I see all these videos, and social media is so dangerous because I see all these videos of like people like basically claiming our politicians are like lizard people and all this wild stuff. And like, so I do think that some of the things that they do make me question, but I'm not going to go as far as to say that Joe Biden or everybody just yet are lizard people with masks. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Reptilians? Do you think they're real?
I haven't looked into lizard people too much.
Yeah, that it's a big thing in like Hollywood. People think that Hollywood types, instead of like the Illuminati and all this stuff, they're really just like a reptilian organization,
Wow.
which are going to eventually take over the Earth. What do you think?
Well, to me, I feel like it's more ridiculous to think that none of that could be real.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Why couldn't it be real, right? I look at aliens like this. Is it really out there? I mean, from like and I don't mean to take it in a religious way, but even from a biblical standpoint, or any type of religion, there's always some supernatural element to most religion, and especially like the Bible itself is a pretty supernatural book, to be honest. So it's like, is it really out there to think that maybe there's other things going on? There's creatures, there's ghosts. I'm big into ghosts and paranormal. I've been grabbed by a ghost before. And I know that might sound nuts, but I've been grabbed on the ankle and pulled backwards in a room where, nobody was behind me. I've been scratched. So, I mean, what do you guys, let me ask you this, when it comes to ghosts, what do you think about spirits? Have you ever witnessed a ghost or been in a haunted house before?
So the only encounter that I think I've ever had with a ghost was a ghost of a cat.
Mhm.
Right. My friend, I was very young. I was maybe 10 or 11 years old at the time. My friend had a cat that passed away, right? And they had two cats. And so one time I was staying the night at his house, and I go upstairs to kind of look to see what they got in their fridge. I was a little hungry. And I heard a meow and saw a shadow of a cat run up the stairs, right? And so I like got spooked, and I looked down the stairs, and there was their other cat sitting down the stairs. But I know for a fact, I saw a shadow of a cat run up the stairs.
That's wild, man. That is, and I don't discredit any of anybody's claims, because I have people send me. I used to have a paranormal show before this called the Cain Stevens Paranormal Super Show, and it was harder to market only because it was so set in that. So now I like to talk to everybody like yourselves, but I also like to add a paranormal element to it from time to time. But I love hearing people's stories because it's so interesting. Not everyone is nuts. You know what I mean? Like, it would be ridiculous to think that everyone is wearing a tinfoil hat. Everyone is like, there are people that are just regular people that are just dealing with all of this. I mean, being a human is strange in general, isn't it? I mean, the fact that we're here, we were even born, or, here we are making sounds at each other and we kind of know what each one's talking about is bizarre in itself, isn't it?
We're just kind of sitting on a giant space rock that floats around a giant ball of gas that
Yeah.
floats around a giant black hole in the center of.
Exactly. Like you could look at your hand and just look at the intricacies of your hand, and you could think to yourself, like, I mean, it's pretty wild that we even exist. So I
Yeah.
don't think that it's out there to see a ghost cat or any.
No.
I mean, have you two ever seen anything or been in a haunted house or?
I have not. However, I like myself believe, even though I've never like encountered a spirit of some sort, but like loved ones or friends and family that I've known that have passed away, like to me, this might be really insane for me to say this, and I don't think I've ever like said this out loud to you, so you might think I'm crazy, but I feel like I have encounters with those people. Like whenever a thought of them pops into my mind, I feel like because they're not constrained by like time and space, like they can, I don't know, come about anyway. So anytime I like have a thought about them, I'm like, oh, they're here, like visiting me, like letting me know that they're like here. And like anytime I see something, like when I'm out and about just going about my day, if I see something that's like I don't know, like a certain object that they often loved. Like my grandpa really loved like wildflowers and like tractors and farming and stuff like that. So anytime I'm in like a weird like area that wouldn't have necessarily any of those things, and I see something like that pop up, I'm like, oh my gosh, there is my grandpa, or like something like that.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, my theory, I mean, if there are ghosts, my theory is that time, it doesn't necessarily exist the way we think it does. I think the past, present, and future all kind of meld together. And I think if we are seeing, that's why like residual haunts and stuff like that, where, you know, you're literally seeing like a piece in time happen from the past in front of you, just playing out like at Gettysburg, for example. They get a lot of apparitions where it's just soldiers walking across the road or whatever. And I think that is just, to me, when I try to piece it together in my mind, I think that it's one of those time things where we just don't understand the concept of it.
Yeah.
The fifth
Because
dimension.
we're just simple human beings, right? We're just above we're just above, zoo animals and everything else.
Well, that's the thing. We're so limited in what we can perceive and what our senses can take in.
Right.
And even like to the lizard person theory, I don't have any evidence that is real. But like at a zoo, if they need to, if they have to like feed a baby animal, they'll like put on like this, little suit that like it looks like a panda bear to like make the baby panda feel safe. And it doesn't have to be a really good suit for the little panda to believe it. So maybe Mitch McConnell really does just have a mask over his lizard face. And
that was the suit I was going to wear for this interview, but I thought it'd be, if I wore a panda costume, I felt like everyone would have been more comfortable. Maybe on the next one, right?
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes, we'll be on the road and I'll, meet some fellow working at a gas station.
Yeah.
And, either he's, he might be tweaking out or something, or he might be an intergalactic traveler. I don't know, right? It's hard.
I love that. I'd love that. That's where your mind would go. And from now on, when you see him, now you're really going to wonder, is it a lizard person? You're going to go tug on their face, or,
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't do it though, man. You might not live to tell the tale. You guys got more to your story than what we're talking about here. But I'm getting in the weeds here a little bit. As I tend to do. My last thing that I want to do before the conversation is over with, I really want you guys to promote whatever you'd like to promote. Any upcoming, albums, songs, any venues that you're playing at soon, please feel free to do so.
Well, we have a good amount of singles that we're planning to release here in the coming months, and we're going to be playing throughout. In the coming months, we're going to be playing throughout Wisconsin, throughout Iowa. We're going to be going up into the northeast region again, and
back into the south.
Back into the south and the Carolinas, down into Georgia and Alabama, and
we have some local gigs coming up too.
Yeah. Please promote all that.
The tail end of August in Lincoln, we're playing at the Hub Cafe Farmers Market, and Capitol View Winery, and Kincaider in Omaha, and all that stuff on our website and stuff too. That'll be
And what's your website so people can check it out?
thewildwoodsband.com.
Wildwoodsband.com. You can also catch you guys on all of the socials, probably with the same thing, right? I
Yep.
think that's the tag you have.
Yep, Instagram I think is just the Wildwoods, but I think all the other ones are the Wildwoods Band.
Perfect. Well, that is where I discovered you guys, was off of the socials. You guys are doing an amazing job. I wish I had more time to talk to you guys, but you've already given me too much of your day. So, I so thank you guys for allowing me to talk to the three of you. It's been an absolute pleasure of mine, and I will be rooting for you guys.
Thank you.
Well, till I'm done, right?
Yeah.
It's so nice to virtually meet you.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I hope I run into you guys sometime, and then you guys, I want you to grab me by the face and make sure I'm not a lizard person.
Yeah. Well, unzip your skin.
Yeah.
Well, it's been an honor, guys. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you guys have a great day.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you, Cain.
too.
Appreciate it.
You as well.
Take care, guys.